Hello there and welcome. This is Iron Port. This program is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, Gold Company Limited, the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. In this week's edition of the program, we are going to discuss the contribution of haulage transport to the transit trade. But before we bring you that discussion, His Excellency Nana Addo AKUFO-ADDO cut the sod for the BOANKRA Inland Port project. Let's take a listen.
President of the Republic of Ghana, Nana AKUFO-ADDO, has cut sod for work to commence on the $330 million BOANKRA Integrated Logistics Terminal project, popularly referred to as the BOANKRA Inland Port project, which has been on the drawing board for about 18 years. The concept of the BOANKRA Inland Port has been a common discussion in the port industry of Ghana. It is an initiative of the Ministry of Transport acting through the Ghana Shippers Authority. The concessionaire, Ashanti Port Services Limited, a joint venture of AFUM Quality Limited of Ghana and DSS Associates of the Republic of Korea, is expected to design, engineer, finance, procure, construct, operate, and maintain the project and transfer title to the government after a 30-year period. The BOANKRA Integrated Logistics Terminal project is intended to augment the positioning of import and export services closer to the doorstep of shippers in the northern part of the country, improve the operational efficiency of the existing seaports in Tema and Takoradi, and facilitate greater intermodal linkages with Ghana's landlocked trade partners in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. The CEO of the Ghana Shippers Authority, Benonita Bismarck, said significant employment opportunities will be created through the inland port supply chain, including export processing, warehousing, transportation, and receipt and delivery operations.
These objectives are still largely tenable, and it is my hope that the BOANKRA Integrated Logistics Terminal will deliver these and more for the benefit of our country.
The Minister of Transport, Kweku-Ofori-Esiama, said when completed, the 413-acre port facility space would automatically create a commercial hub in the middle belt of Ghana through the establishment of logistics and supply chain system around the terminal.
Promote technology and skill transfer to strengthen the local resources stock trade for our development and to create the much needed employment opportunity for the people of this country.
The Minister for Railway Development, Joe Gate, indicated that the BOANKRA Inland Port would be served by a new modern standard gauge rail network.
As I speak, negotiations have commenced with a German Ghanaian group to develop a line which will start from Tema, go through Kotoku, come to Achiasi, from Achiasi come to Kede Etiwa, and at Bososo meet the line which is coming from Accra through Kufodra to BOANKRA to Kumasi.
The President of Ghana, Nana AKUFO-ADDO, said the massive project, which would be delivered within a 3-year period, is a part of government's grand plan to develop an efficient intermodal framework that spurs Ghana's transport sector onto world-class levels.
An important aspect of our country's agenda for development in the transport sector is to establish an intermodal framework where road, rail, ports, riverine, and other pipeline transport projects complement each other.
So away from that, the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority has almost completed the construction of the track park at the Paga border, which is expected to impact the transit trade.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority is reconstructing the truck park at the Paga border to bring relief to truck drivers and state agencies working at the border. Hitherto, the existing truck park was in a very deplorable state, especially during the rainy seasons, with instances recorded when trucks overturned due to the poor nature of the existing ground. GPHA thus sought to provide a long-lasting solution to this problem and offer a suitable truck park for the use of its transit market. The 30,165 square meter project, which is 85% complete, is expected to have facilities such as fire hydrants, light mast base, and cable ducts for the future installation of light mast, sanitary facilities including washrooms, an ablution area, and prayer shed for the convenience and use of the truck drivers and other visitors to the truck park. There will also be the installation of razor wire rows on the truck park fence wall for enhanced security and drainage improvement at the entrance to the truck park. Speaking to Iron Port, the representative of GPHA in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, David Songotu, decried the deplorable nature of the truck park, adding that a lot of accidents happen from the truck park to the Paga town, which makes the whole place blocked.
This place was full of dust during the dry season, and if you had stood here during the dry season headed to this pavement, you wouldn't have been able to stand for a minute. In fact, the custom officers and all customers, and mostly trucks, even fall. During the rainy season, it's even worse.
He stated that the idea of constructing a truck park started when a delegation from the Port Authority visited the area to witness the poor state in which the truck park was. The engineer for the project, who is with Possible Agencies Limited, contractors of the project, Ronnie Ablakwa, said the project will be completed in November 2020.
We are going to demarcate for the parking of the trucks, at least to ease traffic. So we have places where the cars will turn and then places where the cars are permanently parked.
He said the pavement has been done to last for several years due to the heavy loads the trucks carry. The principal revenue officer and second in command at the Paga border for the Customs Division of GRA, Agbeku-Akrobeto, was enthused about the project and described it as one of the largest parking sites for the trucks from Ghana to Burkina Faso.
So they came in just about 3 months ago, and wonderfully it's been done. As you can see, it's one of the largest, cargo parking areas you can find anywhere at the borders of Ghana.
Still staying with the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, a delegation from the Port Authority embarked on a problem-solving mission along the transit corridors. Let's take a listen.
Following incessant reports of alleged harassment and extortion by members of the Ghana Police Service on transit truck drivers along the transit corridors of Ghana, the representative of Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority to the Sahelian regions, David Songotu, has led a GPHA team to investigate situations on the ground as well as find solutions to them. The road trip was across the northern regions of the country, particularly the Upper West region and the Upper East region. The GPHA team also interacted with drivers across the corridor to ascertain their specific challenges pertaining to the trade across the Ghanaian corridor.
Across the border has here from to Obecha Burkina border from Ermokono. So Buku has here Barre Bie ni Kwembio, Ekopim say Obesa Pie for Burkina. Ofri Accra etu Ambele has Barre Ugu Kwem more than 200. Police officer be obedrubia Nyesika Fru, one Nyeska Mawa was a packet.
The team engaged some police officers at the various checkpoints to sensitize them on the need for them to facilitate the movement of the transit trucks instead of harassing them. David Songotu, the GPHA representative to Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, said the economic operators in especially Mali and Burkina Faso have complained repeatedly of police officers extorting amounts as high as 10 cedis per checkpoint from drivers carrying cargo cleared from Ghana's ports to the Sahelian countries. According to him, these add up to create a bad impression that the Ghanaian corridor is expensive, and this is unfortunate as Ghana's Port Authority has ensured to provide incentives that would woo importers and exporters from the landlocked countries to use Ghana's ports.
To discourage these people on the street, on the road, on the corridor, by collecting the small money that they do, especially after Techima, where every other stop they need to collect 5 cedis, 2 cedis, 1 cedi, 10 cedis by the police. It adds up to say that Ghana corridor is expensive. compared to the other corridors.
He said it is rather unfortunate that these alleged unprofessional members of the police service do not recognize the importance the transit business has on Ghana's economic development.
So if we do our collective responsibility, everybody wake up to do that. This is what I'm going to contribute for the development of Ghana in the area of the transit trade. There's huge millions of money through the transit trade. And that is why countries are not sleeping. And Ghana should not sleep and allow these stakeholders to do what they are doing to discourage the trade.
David Songotu assured the transit truck drivers of GPH's commitment to curbing the ongoing injustice. He advocated for an increased sensitization of the police service as well as other relevant stakeholders so as to put an end to the harassment and extortion of transit truck drivers on the transit corridors of Ghana. In a related development, the Upper West Regional Police Commander, DCOP Francis Abuajenakun, has given his word to the transit community to bring an immediate stop to the incidents of harassment and extortion by police officers on drivers using the transit corridor within his jurisdiction.
In my jurisdictions, I will assure you that from today, there will be a significant improvement.
He made this vow during a working visit of a GPHA team who embarked on a problem-solving mission on the transit corridor to minimize the reported harassment and extortion on the corridor. DCOP Francis Abuajenyako said, in addition to holding his officers more accountable, he would collaborate with the various regional commands to ensure the holistic and effective approach to end the problem of police harassment on the corridor.
The commands need to be sensitized, and especially can share their pronouns. Where things of our toward nature is being done to them, we can be called.
He added that he has also instituted an escort regime that is intended to provide security to transit drivers and cargoes during their use of the corridor against crime.
So I found out and realized that because the environment is vulnerable, there is a need to police them to the barrier, so we can hand over to our counterparts at the other side.
David Songotu, the GPHA representative to the Sahelian countries, expressed optimism that the regional commander's efforts would be a successful one that would eliminate the discomfort transit drivers feel using the corridor. He also said initiatives such as the escort regime would go a long way to woo more economic operators in the Sahelian countries to use Ghana's ports.
Back to our main subject on the challenges and opportunities in the transit trade, Iron Port engaged some key players who shared their aspirations on how to improve the trade.
The haulage transport industry has been the backbone of the transit trade in Ghana, helping to grow Ghana's transit trade to over 1 million tons in recent times. Speaking on Iron Port, industry players bemoaned various obstacles hindering access to the full potential of the transit business. The Executive Secretary of the Joint Association of Port Transport Union, Ibrahim Musa, said the several police checkpoints on the corridor and the accompanying harassment and extortion have made the corridors expensive for transit business.
What we have had reports of several times is that this issue of checking the cargo has been used as an opportunity to extort, to harass, and to create unnecessary delay.
He questioned the intent behind the numerous police checks on transit truck drivers on the corridor and expressed that the police are capitalizing on petty to zero situations of infractions to get a green light to harass.
We think that the police service can do a greater job in making sure that their effort complement the bigger investment that the GPHA is making into opening our ports, educating,
and then the country going with the Africa, the region,
exactly.
And having a
He noted that the GPHA Load-Worthy initiative inside the port is an additional security intervention in addition to roadworthy checks by the Driver's Vehicle Licensing Authority. Hence, some of the checks done by the police are needless. Ibrahim Musa said initial efforts made by the then IGP and his high-rank police officials failed because there is a disconnect between the policy initiative at the top level from the implementation on the ground. Also speaking on the same platform, the Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce representative in Ghana, Sheriff Udrogo, called for the drastic reduction of police checkpoints to facilitate movement, as some significant level of security has been initiated by collaborations between the customs, SIC and his outfit to safeguard goods and drivers as soon as clearance is done through the ports.
We have the control inside the port already with the customs, with SIC who give all the documentation, Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce to clear the good, to take the road. So I agree that security is a challenge, but we have to reduce the checking points.
To
facilitate the movement.
He proposed that the security interventions by the Ghana police across the transit corridor to be like that of the practice in Burkina Faso, who are not stationary but run patrols in the dispensation of security.
We have the security who move, but they don't stay at one place.
Adding his voice to the calls for improvements in police activity on the corridor, Franco Pong, the project logistics manager at Jomo International, a haulage company specialized in out-of-gauge cargoes, said haulage companies should endeavor to ensure drivers engage in appropriate safety practices in order not to become vulnerable bait for police extortions.
Education, when you have a driver or you're moving with a fleet who are well educated, I don't think the police can harass them if they are in the right PPEs.
No, but they've been stopping them, right? They've been stopping you.
So, you know, he claimed that they are now getting, you know, our team of drivers. I don't think you get any of our members driving in slippers or without PPEs.
He said monitoring schemes available to track trucks and cargo should be relied upon. Franco Pon also called for the security agencies on the transit corridor to be bilingual as a means of improving coordination with transitors during use of the corridor.
Just imagine a truck driver get to a point where he has no clue about English language, and our team also over there can only speak English. What happens? It leads to delays. The next thing is alleged extortion. So we need to improve. Our stakeholders need to train a few of our customs guys and then the police who can speak a bit of French to assist as we are going to this after, where we are looking at free flow of goods and then movement of personnel.
The Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce rep said the language barrier is the main hindrance from Ghana fully enjoying its business potential with the Sahelian region. He said his outfit would like to collaborate with the Ghana Chamber of Commerce for the establishment of bilingual schools for use by business persons in both countries, which would go a long way to improve intra-regional business relations.
It's very important. You know, Burkina Faso Chamber of Commerce is a public institution. We can get an agreement with like Ghana Chamber of Commerce. We have a good relation partnership to get a school, you know, where the Ghanaian can learn French and where the Burkinabe can learn English too.
Sheriff Udrago also called for the setting up of a CFA bank to reduce the cost of doing transit business in Ghana, which would also go a long way to woo more transit economic operators to use Ghana's ports and corridors.
We are talking about it to resolve the situation. We have a good relation, and in the high level, we are talking to know how we can get a safer bank in Ghana to improve the corridor.
He, however, praised improvement in valuation, automation of port processes and port infrastructure development taking place in Ghana as interventions that the transit business is benefiting massively from. The Executive Secretary of JAPTU, Ibrahim Musa, said there has been a seeming discoordination of sub-regional stakeholders on transport-related policies such as the axle load regime, which is providing unfair competitive advantage and increased risk for non-compliant players. He also appealed for government to consider the reduction of taxes on haulage vehicles and their parts so they can be easily acquired to replace the dilapidated ones. Ibrahim Musa said The introduction of different forms of vehicle renewal schemes that would cushion hauliers is a sure way to help them improve vehicle resilience, especially now that they intend to position themselves well to take advantage of a liberated market.
One of the things that can help is when government institutes a scheme that has maybe a 10-year revolving arrangement where a certain stock of vehicles can be brought in very good shape, and we receive as a union, we give to our members to operate, and there is an arrangement for these funds to be recovered. Then at any given time, you can vouch for a Ghanaian transport operator.
Ibrahim Musa also seized the opportunity to praise efforts made by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority and the Ghana Shippers Authority in reforming the transport unions operating in the port business, and added that it is the best way to making the sector competitive for effective trading on the corridor.
We think that the reformation just happened at a time where there is growing multilateralism, and the best way to go is to come together. Even if as a continent we are exploring the options and opportunities of working as a free market area, then how do we survive if we continue as individuals, smaller transport owners?
Franco Pong, the project logistics manager at Jomo International, also called for the introduction of incentives from shipping lines and port operators in order to encourage them to position themselves to serve the larger continental market.
Let's say if they can do insurance in place of the container deposits, that will also help, because you pay a premium and not paying the total, let's say 2,500 by 10, reducing the amount you have to cough for deposits. And also the ports should give incentives.
He particularly urged government to expedite processes for the provision of rail infrastructure that would give Ghana's corridor a further boost in efforts to woo more transit business to its corridor. Eye on Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water, or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Oh, how are you?
Hi Yvonne, a few words please. Everyone is talking about the fire at your production house last week. How are you holding up? Has production stalled?
No, not at all. My crew and everyone on my set is perfectly fine because I insure with Serene Insurance. As a matter of fact, I've had all my equipment replaced, including the vehicles that were affected. My workers have been sorted out. Even my production downtime has been covered. So it's all good. I have a meeting to attend to, so I have to get going. Sorry about that.
Which insurance company did you mention?
Serene Insurance, the new face of insurance, a member of First Sky Group.
Welcome back from the break now to some international ports and maritime news.
Fleetmore Maritime News has reported a confirmed attack on tanker Nefeli 2, some 120 nautical miles south of Bonny, Nigeria. The merchant ship, which was en route from Lagos to Douala, Cameroon, was attacked on 4th November 2020 around 0600 Coordinated Universal Time. The unknown pirates are believed to have looted the ship and fled. As of 0700 Coordinated Universal Time, it was reported the vessel was still adrift, but automatic identification system was still working. Crew are reportedly safe after they managed to hide in Citadel when pirates boarded a tanker. The vessel is reported to be underway since 10:30 Coordinated Universal Time. The Republic of Korea and the International Maritime Organization have signed an agreement to establish a 4-year training program to support developing states to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from shipping. The creation of a new training program coincided with South Korea's carbon neutrality pledge announcement. On 27th October, Keta Klim, IMO Secretary General, and Song Hik-moon, Minister of Oceans and Fisheries of the Republic of Korea, signed the agreement for the $2.5 million Sustainable Maritime Transport Training Program, also known as GHG SMART. The training program will focus on least developed countries and small island developing states and help them to develop their capacity to achieve the goals set out in the initial IMO strategy on reduction of GHG emissions from ships. Romanian-based Damen Shipyards Galati has launched a third island-class hybrid electric vessel for Canadian ferry operator BC Ferries. The vessel is part of a 6-vessel order for BC Ferries and will perform environmentally efficient inter-island ferry services between Vancouver and Vancouver Island in British Columbia. The new builds are battery-equipped ships designed for future full electric operation. The ships are fitted with hybrid technology that bridges the gap until shore charging infrastructure and funding becomes available in BC.
Now to the schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate. Your comments are next.
Here are some comments. This one says, please, as you address the issue of the police and the drivers, don't forget to talk about the overloading of the trucks, which is damaging to our roads. Hi, GPHA has instituted a load-worthy mechanism that's checking overloading of cargo trucks. This person says, overly narrowing the topic to the police isn't correct. Positioning of the police on our road is strategic and must not be compromised because of haulage drivers. There are instances drivers give their cars to spare drivers or mates who are unlicensed. We also need to keep the police for robbers. Hello, the panelists dealt with a range of issues including language barrier, organized transport associations, and the equally important subject harassment and extortion on the corridor, leading to high cost of doing business on the corridor. Eric from Antwerp Port said, please, I think the development of inland container depot or dry port and intermodal transport would help in reducing the volume of truck fleet on our roads and significantly reduce turnaround time in transport. I think Ghana and the landlocked countries should intensify their efforts in developing the rail infrastructure and the inland port. Indeed, it has been on the drawing board for far too long. My name is Abdul Malik. I work with Bolere Transport and Logistics. As much as we anticipated increase in metric tons between the two countries, I think we need to look at creating a well-designed and appropriate parking space for Burkina Faso track. We need to create avenues that will motivate them to do more business with Ghana. Indeed, Abdul Malik, this is why the newly constructed track park at the Paga border, constructed by GPHA, will go a long way to improve trade on the corridor.
So that's all for this week's episode of the program. Thank you for watching, and thanks to the entire crew.